Welcome to Pixels to Polygons, the 40-bit adventure. I'm your boy Yank. I gotta ask, what happened? Have you noticed how hard it is for gamers today to just enjoy gaming? I mean, it doesn't matter what's getting released. Someone's hating on the graphics. Someone's complaining that it's too easy. It's too tough. It's too woke. Someone got their feelings hurt and they want it canceled. It's exhausting. And it just makes me wonder, when did gamers become so negative? Don't get me wrong. Gaming's always had criticism. And criticism is a good thing. But there's a thin line between criticism and just being negative. I even see OGs like myself talk about how gamers were just more positive back in my day. Or the 90s era just seemed like happier, more positive time. That is definitely not true. It just seemed that way, but the truth is, gamers have always complained, myself included. We've all complained about difficulty, graphics didn't look good, that sequel didn't live up to the hype, or which console's better, or which ones we prefer playing on. The PC Master Racer's always telling us, why do you waste your time on consoles? Whatever. And of course, now more than ever, the complaints on prices. With the hardware price spikes and the games going up. But the difference between back then to now is because these complaints have become way more amplified. The internet changed everything. Back in the day, if you didn't like a game, you tell your friends about it, you tell your family about it. But today, you can literally tell millions of people about it because of the internet. You can get on YouTube, Reddit, Discord, Facebook, Twitter/X to reach as many people that can come across your opinions. And every opinion has content on the internet where everyone can go and gather to share their same feelings about it. That's negative feelings as well. That's why everything seems so much louder today than it did back when we were younger. And we all know the saying, misery loves company. Plus, negativity and destruction get all the attention online. Let's be honest. When's the last time you saw a viral video titled, I enjoyed all my time with this game, or this game's pretty good, compared to, this game is ruining gaming as we know it, Xbox is dead, PlayStation is cooked? Those are the ones that get all the clicks, because negativity is profitable at the end. Someone says, I played this game for 40 hours and loved every minute of it. You're going to see like 20 to 50,000 views. Same game, video says, worst game of the year. They're going to get like hundreds of thousands of views. Search engines pull up the content that has the most traffic. I mean, unless your search is very, very specific. But algorithms don't care whether you're positive or negative. It cares about engagement. And anger creates a lot of engagement. Sometimes, people decide they hate something before it's even come out. A brand new game could get announced. Trailer drops. Boom. Everybody's attacking it. And this is crazy to me because trailers today hardly ever have actual gameplay in it. Hell, a lot of them don't even have any gameplay in it. But gamers already complain about, again, graphics or, this one I love, the character models and the character design. Now, okay, well, the only time that has ever been a good thing is when the community did get them to change the character model for Sonic in the movies. Only time in history that's ever been justifiable, and I agreed with it. But everything else, like today, I was actually scrolling and something came across my news feed about the way Lara Croft's jawline or something looks for the new Legacy of Atlantis and stuff coming out at the top of 27. Like, her jaw... Dude. Miss me with that bullshit. It's so annoying. Or how people are complaining the way Cortana looks in the new Halo campaign Evolve. Like, seriously, they're complaining mostly about her face because her body, she's thicker than a Snicker, but she looks fine. Plus, you hardly actually see Cortana. She's in the cutscenes here and there, but most of the time she's just a voice in your helmet. Plus, side note, we all know Pete Cortana was Halo 4. Hands down, best Cortana model. But that's not here nor there. So,
you sure you wouldn't rather take a seat?
We'll be fine.
gamers sometimes complain about the developers themselves. Maybe they've done something that they don't like in the real world, or politics get involved. Oh my God. I don't care who you voted for. I don't care who you politically side with. Get the politics out of my gaming space. I don't have time for it. I don't care. Another one is microtransactions. I really don't like microtransactions for majority of the time. Now, if you want to sell me skins or even, some DLC to help submerge me more in a game that I've enjoyed later down the road, I'm cool with that. It's my choice if I want to pay for it. But when companies lock content that should have been in your final game behind a paywall, that pisses me off. One of the biggest ones I can think of was a few years ago, Callisto Protocol. Yeah, the ending we had to wait for. You locked it behind a paywall. That had me so mad. I'm getting sidetracked. But basically what I'm saying is that the actual gameplay doesn't even matter anymore because it gets buried underneath all the other noise before the game is actually even released. It doesn't even stand a chance once people start review bombing a video game and they haven't even played it. Speaking of review bombing, man, I cannot stand it. And I've even been, again, guilty of it. That I've let reviews online dictate whether I actually pick up or try a game that I was actually excited for, but then I see the reviews on it because people were going in just blasting it with negative reviews and saying all these bad things about it. And I'm just like, man, I don't want to, Anyway, I let it sway how I approach the game. And one of the biggest things I can think of that this happened, one of the last big times that happened to me was a few years ago. I was super excited for the game Forspoken on the PS5. But it didn't get very good ratings. Now I know across the board, it was never reviewed very well. But I'm going to say when I finally gave it a chance, I realized I can't listen to the internet. If I'm excited for it, listen, reviews and stuff like that, but still give it a shot if you were excited for it, because I love that game. I'll die on that hill. It's one of my favorite games on PS5. I actually have the Platinum trophy to back it up, and I even bought the DLC for it. That game was great, and I let the Sony ponies talk me out of it. No offense to you guys, I know. Also, why does every game have to be a 10 out of 10 masterpiece? Otherwise, it's trash. A game that gets a 6, 7, or an 8 can still be a very good game as long as it's fun. I don't understand where we got to the point where if a game gets a 7 and it's mediocre, it's considered garbage. Trash, don't waste your time. This never really happened in movies. Some of my favorite movies of all time are not anywhere close to being Oscar worthy, but they're my favorites because they are, again, compared to the critics, just mediocre movies. Again, same thing with games. I've played a lot of very good games that I have recommended to other people. They weren't 10 out of 10 Breath of the Wild Zelda games or anything like that. I'm talking about smaller stuff like on 360, like Deadly Premonition or Alpha Protocol, The Saboteur. Things like that. Going back, looking at it, it's okay to just be a fun game. I think that's part of the problem is we got away from games are just supposed to be fun. And that brings me to the nostalgia problem. I've been playing games for over 35 years, and I'm even guilty of this. We remember playing games as a kid, discovering games before there was the internet. You'd go and rent games. You weren't that financially invested, so you could just try a bunch of different games. And the way you chose was you picked up the box, flipped it around, looked at it, or maybe you saw it in a magazine, playing games with your friends. We have these memories that get attached to these games. And then the modern gaming comes along for new games today, and we're comparing it to our childhood. And I don't care what anyone says. That's a standard that no one's going to be able to compare to. And it's pretty unfair. We don't really do it knowingly most of the time. Like I said, I'm guilty of it too. It's just we're holding some of these modern games to impossible standards. And one of the biggest things is a game that has just recently came out that I absolutely love, and it's been getting torn apart online, and that is Halo Campaign Evolved. People are so attached to what they were doing in their childhood with the original Campaign Evolved. And I get it. I love that game too. I love the Halo series. Halo 2 Midnight Launch, one of my fondest memories with my sister and my nephew, because my nephew was such a huge Halo fan back then. And we went to the midnight release and it was great. I get it. This is just go into this as looking at it, hey, this is something I love and they've redone it. Now don't get me wrong, there are things about it that I don't really care for, but overall it's a fantastic game. But again, I feel like it's getting pulled into the nostalgia problem. People are comparing it to their childhood, and it's never going to live up to the standards. It never will. No game ever can beat your childhood memories. And something that's brought up with a lot of the older gamers as well, they love to say how everything was just better back then. I spend a lot of time playing video games. I play a lot of modern games. I play a lot of games that I've missed over the years. I play a lot of retro games that I grew up with. I play a lot of older games. And there's one thing that I have noticed. A lot of games from our past didn't age very well. Like, at all. They're very prehistoric compared to today's standards. So let's be honest. Everything wasn't better back then because older games had their problems too. We dealt with a lot of bad cameras, terrible control schemes. There was limited storytelling, especially compared to today's standards. You had bugs you couldn't fix with a patch. When it shipped like that, that's the way it was. You were stuck with the bug in the game. A famous one I could think of is Donkey Kong Country 2. There's something that you can do in a later level against a wall or something. It would literally break your game and make the cartridge unplayable. I mean, what were you going to do if you accidentally did that? You're out of a game. It's a paperweight. Nothing you can do about it. Again, these older games had their problems, but we don't remember that because we remember the feeling of those games. We remember the feeling of how it felt when we played, what we were doing, the memories. It's all about the feeling. I said it earlier, and I'll say it again. Criticism is a very good thing. I'm not going to stand here and say stop criticizing games because gaming needs to be criticized. Developers need it to know what their audience is looking for. We as consumers need to know whether a game is truly worth buying at a $70 or $80 price tag. Reviews matter. It's just there's a difference between I don't like this game because and someone saying this game is garbage and anyone who likes it is an idiot. That's when you just get to be insulting and it's no longer criticism. It's just being completely negative and no one needs that in the space. I'm not saying that you gotta like everything. You don't like that game? That's okay. Not really feeling the art style or the graphics over here? That's fine. I'm not really feeling where this franchise is headed. That's cool too. Just stop trying to convince everyone else that they're wrong. Maybe we all need to do a little better at trying to say, you know what, that's just really not for me. Instead of, that game's garbage and you're an idiot if you like it. That's all I'm saying.
Coming here was reckless. You two know better than this. Thanks.
At the end of the day, we're playing video games. We all have our stories of how we started playing, and we have our reasons why we continue to play. But the bottom line for all of us is they're supposed to be fun. They're supposed to make us laugh. They're supposed to make us cry. They're supposed to get us angry, frustrate us, challenge us, and sometimes stir up some memories that maybe we haven't thought about in a very, very long time. Again, I'm not saying we gotta love every game. Hell, I'm not even saying we gotta like every game. But I think us as gamers just sometimes need to remember that it's okay to just enjoy them. Enjoy video games for what they are. If you guys enjoyed this, hit that like button and subscribe. And of course, share it with a friend or two. Well, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching Pixels to Polygons, the 40-bit adventure. I'll see you next time.
Oh, I see. The coordinate data needs to be... Right. Sorry.